This is a high time frame analysis on Silvergate to show when the trend changed from bull to bear. You should never fight against a trend. If it's bullish, you should buy the dips. And if it's bearish, you should be shorting the rips. To go against that is like going against a wave. You're going to get crushed. Alright, so on the weekly time frame, we'll analyze the weekly and kind of move downwards into smaller time frames. We see that it had a huge move up. This is a very bullish trend. Then it creates this swing low that leads to a new high, which means this is a very important low, the lowest low that creates this highest high. These lows are basically protected. Once these are lost on the weekly time frame, the trend will shift, right? So as you can see, it is protected. That first retrace to that area, it has a huge bounce. It's a protected low. The next time though it breaks it, this is very important. Once it breaks this, you know you should be looking to short any rips on the weekly time frame. If you zoom into the daily, you can even get a better picture of when that happens. So over here, what is the lowest low that leads to the highest high? It's actually this swing low. So this is the low that leads to the highest high. And as you can see, when it first approaches that area, it bounces, has a small bounce though, and then it breaks. So on the daily time frame, this is that first bearish structure shift way earlier than the weekly time frame down here. Okay, so it breaks, retraces, and then as you can see, it starts to continue down. So every time you go into the lower time frames, you can get a better and better entry into the ideal entry that you want when entering a trade. Right, but let's look at the weekly time frame. Basically, in May 2022, the trend changed on the weekly time frame, and there's no reason to long any more dips. Longing a dip after that is basically going against a trend, and you will get bloody hands trying to catch that knife. As you can see, it created a lower high and then a new lower low, right, on the weekly. Now let's go back to the daily and try to get better optimizations, right? So first trend shift right here, breaks it, retraces, and creates a new lower low. So lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. In this case, basically, since the beginning of 2022, you should have been trying to short rather than long. Buddy said he bought at 65 and went to 74, so that seems to be around here. This is around 65, 64, and it goes up to around 74. That is a very lucky move. Again, you are fighting the trend. You're fighting a internal bear market in a big picture bear market. So that is a very bold move, and it's just not worth it to fight the trend. You got lucky in the sense you bought at this order block for a short little move up, but as you can see, it's had just a series, and this is internally, right? We already know that bigger picture trend shifted a while ago on the weekly, but even here, see, it's like a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It just goes down like that. That's a clear picture of a trend of a bear market. There's no reason to be longing in any place after, if you want to do it properly, after May, but on the daily time frame, basically in the beginning of January. There's no reason to be longing. You should be looking to short. So now the question is, what's it doing right now? Well, I don't see any weekly supports here, right? There's no order blocks for me to look at here. It's a clear downtrend, right? Yeah, I could have bounces. Bear markets have bounces. They have big bounces. Like this is a big bounce, this is a big bounce, right? But stop fighting the trend. What do I see in the daily time frame? Again, nothing. It's just a clear downtrend. There's no place that it really wants to bounce. There is no reason whatsoever to be longing in this stock whatsoever. There's no reason. You're basically gambling. You're basically trying to catch a falling knife, and it's going to cut your hand. It's going to go right through your hand, right? Even on the 4 hour, I don't see anything. There's no resemblance of any demand zone being formed in the 4 hour right now. Let's continue to zoom in. Let's see if I can see anything in 1 hour. Nothing. Right? There's just nothing, man. Don't buy this shit right now. Basically, the only way you could long this on any stage at this point would be if on any time frame, right now I'm just going to use a 4 hour, but on any time frame, it has right now a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? So if it breaks the previous lower high, creating a new higher high, does a little bit of a retrace, that's when you would long, right, into a short move up. Because remember, bear markets do have bounces, they have big bounces, but do you really want to catch that knife? If you do, man, good luck.